Okay, now it's recording.
Okay. Whoops. So hi. So you guys remember how yesterday and the day before that we were talking about poetry terminology, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, well, today we're going to put that to use. We're going to review a poem and develop our understanding of poetry. So this poem is "O Captain, My Captain" by Walt Whitman. We're going to go over it together. But before we do that, I want us to go over the elements of poetry. So what are some elements of poetry you can tell me? Symbol. Symbolism, yeah, that's right. So what's the symbol?
Like the sun in a lot of poetry.
Like the sun in a lot of
Okay,
poetry.
I had a thought, but then I went away.
What could the sun symbolize in a poem?
A new day.
Yeah,
or
that's
God.
right. That would be symbolism. Okay, what's another element of poetry?
Meter.
Meter, yeah. What's meter? What's form in meter?
Like, yeah, how many stanzas it's in, whether it's iambic pentameter or iambic tetrameter, all that
there
fun
you go.
stuff.
Which is a lesson for another day.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. It's good that you know it. Anything else? What else can you think of? What's another element of poetry?
Irony.
Irony, yeah. What's irony?
It's like when, I know dramatic irony is when, like, the characters don't actually know what's happening, but the reader does, right?
That would be dramatic irony.
Okay.
So irony is, like, it actually is kind of hard to explain.
It's not Elena's voice.
That's a good example. Dramatic irony is a good example because it's sort of like, well, this is happening, but it actually means something else, like the opposite, So what else? Can you think of anything else? What does a poem have? It could be simple. It could be really simple.
Rhythm.
Rhyme?
Rhyme?
Oh, that is rhythm. Sorry, I can't read.
Oh, yeah. Say something.
We'll go with rhyme.
The same.
Now, does a poem necessarily have a rhyme?
No.
No.
No. If it doesn't have a rhyme, what's it called?
Reverse.
Yes, correct. Okay, what else does a poem have?
Tone.
Tone. Does it have a title?
Yeah.
Yeah? Not super significant, but sometimes it is.
Yeah.
What else does it have?
Imagery.
Imagery. Running out of room here. How about a speaker?
Yep.
What's a speaker?
The person saying the poem.
Ah, but is it the author?
Not necessarily.
There you go.
I want to use that to our advantage.
All right.
If we can know that truck has one product, we can tell what we're doing.
That's good enough for now, don't you? Okay, so we're going to go over "O Captain, My Captain" now. Do I have any volunteers who'd like to read a stanza?
Sure. I'll read a stanza.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. O captain, my captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every wreck. The prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear. The people are exulting. While follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But, oh heart, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold and dead.
Do you want to take the next stanza?
Yeah. Oh, captain, my captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung. For you the bugle trills. For you, bouquets and ribboned wreaths. For you, the shores are crowding. For you, they call the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead.
My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells, but I with mournful thread walk the deck, my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do now. We are going to go over these elements in this poem. Does that sound good? It's not as terrifying as it sounds, I promise. We'll start with something simple. The title. What can you tell me about the title?
Like,
It's the first line of the poem, or part of the first line of the poem.
What else can you tell me? Titles have meaning. Does it? Why do you think that it's just named "Oh Captain, My Captain"? Did Walt Whitman just not title it?
Probably repetition.
Repetition. Right.
Got this, Kristen.
You don't think the captain is maybe significant in this at all?
Well, yeah, he's significant.
Yeah, he is significant. Why is he significant?
I know why. Should I say?
Maybe because he's the subject of the poem.
Yeah, that too.
Well, my handwriting is awful, but that's okay. Let's move on. Symbolism. Do you notice any symbolism here? Take it line by line. Oh, captain, my captain, our fearful trip is done. What trip? What trip is he talking about, you think?
Some sort of voyage.
That's another word for trip, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
across the ocean.
Oh, across the ocean, do you think that's what he's talking about?
well, I mean, should I actually say what the poem's about, or?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's about the end of the Civil War and the assassination of Abraham Lincoln.
So, who's the captain?
Abraham Lincoln.
No!
Sorry, shouldn't. I love that look on your face, that dawning on your face, Kristen.
Okay, so how did you come to that conclusion, though?
Looking at the time period that the poem was written in, it makes sense. And
Just the time period?
and it's by Walt Whitman.
During that time period. What else do you notice?
The fact that they're talking about the fearful trip,
So what's the fearful trip?
the Civil War, and trying to keep the Union together.
Wow.
I hate you.
I guess it would really depend on this how wide
All right.
I have to remember, I'm in high school. I'm a genius for saying this stuff.
You are a genius. So smart. All right. So what other symbolism are you noticing other than the fearful trip? What's the ship? What do you think?
America.
What? No way.
that's not the ship.
Why do you say that?
Because if it's gone through a fearful trip and the captain is Abraham Lincoln, the captain, president, all that fun stuff.
That's symbolism, right?
Yeah.
The port is near. What port? I mean, the ship is figurative here, so obviously the port is too, right? What's the port?
So like the end of the war, a time where America is unified again.
Yeah. Let's move on to the speaker. Who do you think the speaker is?
The American people.
The American people? Why do you say that?
just because they're talking about the captain, who is the president.
So do you think it's like all America?
He's gonna make sure you're allocating your area.
Okay, so who do you think it is?
Maybe just
Great, just don't split it in thirds.
maybe like the North, because they seem happy that the war is almost over.
It's not a important issue. We're not selling.
Okay. Let's move on to the form and the meter. What are you guys noticing about the form and meter? We'll go through this together. Okay, our few. Let's look at the. Okay. Done. Let's go. Let's just write an A right there. Does one rhyme with done?
Yeah.
Next line. So we write A right next to it. The port is near, the bells I hear, and people all exult. Does that rhyme with the rest?
Yeah, so it's AA, BB, CD, ED.
Alright, let's go through it and see if it matches. Do you think it matches, Kristen? Yes? Does it? Let's go through it. AA, BB, CD, ED. So do the A's match?
Yeah.
Do the B's match?
I don't think the B's match.
Because you're looking at exulting, daring.
That's true. But if it's a slant rhyme,
It's a slant rhyme. Yeah, what's a slant rhyme?
where usually only one part of the word will rhyme or add to the rhyme or sounds the
So putting
same.
that to use here, how do you see that in exulting and daring?
With the ending, the ing.
Yeah, fantastic. Good call, Tanya. All right, so let's go with
And it's not like we're assigning a forklift driver to.
we'll go over what that means in another class. But do you see any irony here?
I think the fact that, the ship's about to reach the shore, but then the captain dies. So everything that he's fought for, he'll never get to see to fruition.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good job. You rocked. We've already talked about rhyme and form and meter, so we'll just skip over that one for now, especially since we're kind of running out of time. What are we at? We're at
13, 18.
Alright. So here's what we're gonna do actually. We're gonna end the lesson there. And tomorrow we'll pick it up again. Right now I'm gonna give you note cards and then you'll just write me your opinion on the poem. What did you think of it? Did you like it? And we'll go over the rest of these tomorrow.
Thank you.